Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to part 3 of What If Issei Was Sent to a Magic Academy. I know it's been about actually a month since I made part 2, so here I am with part 3. If you guys actually like this video, please share this video to your friends and family. And with that out of the way, let's just start this What If. We will actually see Kiba and Zenobia staring each other down from the opposite side, as actually in the middle was Issei, as he had a coin in his actually right hand. With this, Issei would say that the moment he tossed the coin into the air, the moment it hits the ground, they can start fighting. And remember, no killing, of course. Looking at Kiba, sensing the amount of bloodlust coming from him. With this, Issei would toss the coin, and the moment it hit the ground, Kiba would immediately charge towards Zenobia. Using actually his sacred gear, he will actually create multiple swords and he will start swinging wildly towards Zenobia. Issei will realize this, that Kiba is not fighting properly, that he's fighting more like a newbie or kind of like a klutz here. With Zenobia invoking her Excalibur Destroyer, she will destroy every one of Kiba's swords. Like, Kiba was not even fighting properly, like this guy was actually fighting like he was a mess. As actually the two of them would continue to fight, where Zenobia would use her Excalibur Destroyer to destroy the ground, knocking Kiba out, to where actually it will make Zenobia the winner of the match. This is where actually Issei would approach Kiba and ask what was actually fighting about. Kiba would say that it was actually nothing, to where actually Issei would stop him. And he would say to Kiba that he knows about actually his pain, the anger that he's feeling. He doesn't know it well, but he knows that actually he's in pain. Whatever actually he's going through, he doesn't have to do it alone. That he's here. That if he's actually planning on going for revenge, don't. It will lead to a path of despair. You won't find what you're looking for. Trust me, he's been down that route. He knows actually the pain of loss, betrayal. He knows it all too well. So, with this, he will tell Kiba to actually not go down that route, and to just focus on the here and now. Whatever happens in the past is in the past. You can't change that, and it won't actually make actually the person that you're trying to actually do this for happy. With this, Kiba would take this to heart, and Issei would actually help actually Zenobia and Irina get back to his place. When they got there, they will notice Issei Gentle lives with Issei, and ask why is Issei Gentle living with Issei, this witch. Issei would explain that Issei now lives with him because actually she was tricked by some fallen angels for actually taking her sacred gear. So heck, Issei saved her and now she lives with him. With this, Zenobia actually does actually threaten Issei, but Issei makes it clear that if actually any of them touch Issei, then they are instantly gonna suffer actually the wrath of this generation's Red Dragon Emperor. Which actually Zenobia doesn't want any of that. But she does actually tell actually Issei about the White One has actually awakened. Which Issei was quite aware of this here. I mean, he already knew about the White Dragon, but he doesn't actually know where or who she is, of course. But heck, he's actually just ready actually for this generation White Dragon Emperor. With this, they will get settled in, and with this, Issei will actually tell them about actually the plans of actually trying to collect the Holy Swords. Issei actually is not really involved with the church, but heck, if it actually prevents actually trouble in this town and if people doesn't die, then yeah, he wants to help. So with this, Issei will join actually the group quite early to collect the Holy Swords. And they will actually go late at night, since it was actually the best time. Kiba will hear wind of this and he will actually ask if he can join. Well, of course, the more the merrier, right? So with this, the same people will end up actually joining actually the exorcist to kidnap the Holy Swords, or probably to destroy actually the priest here. So just either one is actually good. With actually this, they will end up finding Freed and they will actually fight actually him. But in this time, Issei is way more powerful. So with this, he will actually end up killing Freed quite early on in this. Not even getting a chance for him to finish his actually plan of actually merging the Holy Swords together. With this actually, the priest will actually escape, but actually heck, they will actually have more actually enough actually like what evidence enough, or actually, or even actually just to know what Kokobel really is. So with this, they will actually pretty much actually try to track down Kokobel, and they will actually end up finding actually the priest, and they will end up actually like torturing him. Not like actually like ripping off his nail, but no, they will question him by actually giving up actually information that seems valuable, which he actually ends up doing. And they'll actually hear actually the plans of actually trying to start a great war by killing actually the two actually heads of this actually town, Reyes and Sona. So they'll contact Reyes and Sona about this, and they will hear wind about this, that the Kokobels plan on starting a war. They were actually kind of thinking maybe they should contact their siblings about this, of course, right? Well, no, Issei told them not to do that, because he wants to actually test their abilities out. He actually told Reyes that if she wants to grow stronger, that this could be her first challenge. Issei said that this could be actually great actually training for Reyes to test actually her abilities. That pretty much actually for these past couple of actually days, weeks even, Reyes has actually gotten stronger, so he wants to actually see that. And plus, he actually needs to actually keep an eye on actually Kokobel and also the white one here. So with this, heck, they'll end up actually confronting Kokobel, but this time will just be Reyes, and after that Zenobia and Irina, of course, but actually Issei and Gaspar will watch from afar. Issei told Gaspar to keep an eye on how actually they fight here, because this will be great actually information or notes to take down when she's in a fight. It's not just magic that's actually important, but also actually the arts of actually fighting hand to hand and also with weapons. Those actually two can probably actually save your life. Counting on actually sacred gifts is not actually a good actually ability here, because pretty much heck, you actually end up encountering someone who's actually not actually affected by sacred gifts, so heck, just actually pay close attention to how people fight, which Gaspar would do. With this, the fight between Reyes and Kokobel will end up actually taking place, with Zenobia and also Irina being actually present in this, of course, so this actually became quite of a struggle for Kokobel, but they will actually manage to weaken Kokobel to some degree, to where Kokobel will use 50% of actually his power, and this is where things get a different turn from the worst. This is where actually he will reveal the death of God, which will break the will of actually Irina and Zenobia, and with this, heck, he will destroy everyone from actually Reyes' Parade. But of course, Keeper would eventually get his balance breaker in this, of course, after absorbing the crystal. But still, heck, since actually the priest is actually already kidnapped, like, yeah, I'm just making where Keeper just unlocks his sacred gears, of course, just by this actually state. So with this, even with actually Keeper's new awakened balance breaker, yeah, it's still not enough for actually Kokobel. Kokobel would use actually his light ability to strike actually Reyes, but Issei actually will stop it just in time, just blocking it with just his bare hands. This is actually where Issei would say that he's gonna be actually Kokobel's next opponent. Kokobel actually will look towards Issei and he would say like, huh, you might be actually a great challenge. Please entertain me. Issei would actually evoke himself in a red aura, and with just a green energy just surround him, he would just instantly appear right in front of Kokobel, delivering one right hook to his actually jaw, making Kokobel get stumble backwards. This is where Issei would appear right in front of Kokobel. He starts throwing these hands. Like I'm saying taijutsu level skills, bro. He starts throwing all these hands towards Kokobel. Kokobel was getting punched left, right, uppercut, to where actually he starts to fly. But even in the air, Issei continuously actually throws hands at Kokobel, even actually evoking actually somewhat of his magical energy to deliver a right down crashing in punch at his head, making him fall to the ground. Kokobel was getting weaker by the second, and asks, who was this kid? To where Issei would reveal that he was this generation Red Dragon Emperor. Kokobel was quite surprised. This generation Red Dragon Emperor is strong, but you're not stronger than me. This is where Kokobel would create several actually life spears in mid-air and launch it towards Issei. Issei would actually evoke his actually magical sword, and with this, he used actually his actually forbidden actually magic, which was actually dimension actually flash, to where Issei would actually go ahead and flash actually the life spears away, sending them to a different dimension. Kokobel was actually surprised and asked what did he do, which Issei would say that this was actually his forbidden actually magic, dimension flash, This takes up so much magical energy of his that pretty much actually heck, he can only do it at least 3 times a day. Kokubel would say that he is really strong, and actually he actually respects him, and he even offered Issei to join him. That with his skills and abilities, they can rule the world together. But Issei said like, nah, I'm not about that like pal. So with this, he would end up actually just cutting Kokubel's wing in 2, and also impaling Kokubel and even leaving him unconscious. Issei doesn't kill Kokubel, because actually if Issei does kill Kokubel, then heck, he will have problems with the fallen angels. So with this, the white dragon would have come, pick up Kokubel, and with this, everything will actually soon pass. And heck, this is where things get a turn from the worst. Since Irina now knows that God is dead, she's actually kicked out from the church. And Zenobia does end up joining the devils. But Irina is different. She ends up living with Issei and also Arcia, and she ends up going to school. And the two of them do actually become friends. But Irina is actually quite disappointed that Zenobia became a devil. Like, they could have actually still became exorcists in some kind of ways, but still. But Zenobia just felt that she felt more attuned just being with the devils. So with this, heck, the time of actually the meeting would actually soon actually come. And this is where things would absolutely change. Number one, Gaspar actually has totally control over actually her powers and also a sacred gear. So the moment actually they try to kidnap her, she instantly just reverses time back to original. So nobody is affected by this. And remember, Issei is not really involved with the 3 factions here, so he doesn't even attend this meeting. Well, they do actually invite him, Issei is not coming, because actually he has his own business to do and take care of. So with this, Catherine will end up being destroyed, and with this, Avali will end up betraying actually the 3 factions. So what now? Well, basically we will have the training at the arc here, to where actually Issei right now was actually in class, to where he'll get called into the ORC to actually have a chat. Issei, once he got there, would see Azazel, and Azazel would actually kind of thank Issei for defeating Kokubel. To where Issei would say like, it was no big deal, right? Yeah, right. To where actually Azazel will offer Issei that if actually he wants, he can come to the underworld and they can start training together. Training Reyes and so on. And probably he can actually help him actually unlock new actually powers for himself. Issei thinks about this and he said like, I can actually have my own actually plans of course. But thanks though, he would actually stop by the Devil region. You know what? He doesn't actually have anything important now, so maybe he can go to see the underworld for himself for the very first time. I mean, it could be a great learning experience. So with this, Issei will end up going to the underworld. And if you guys are wondering about like, well, what about Irina and also Arcia? Well, the thing is, right, this is where actually things get more actually complicated. Since actually Irina is not longer affiliated with the church, or somewhat is, she actually does actually go to actually her hometown, which is England, and she does actually get trained by her father. And with this, Arcia ends up actually coming along. So with this, they're just getting trained by actually Irina's actually father, of them becoming stronger, and hopefully just to get them reinstated by the church again. And with this, Issei just goes to the underworld here, original. And with this, heck, the same encounter will still actually play, to where they'll play cards, Sona will get off the train, to where they'll actually fall out of the train. But this, Issei is way more actually like smart in this. He actually will notice that this is actually all just a test, probably by Azazel. So with this, Tani will actually come and attack the group, but Issei is far more powerful in this. And Issei will go ahead and invoke himself into his actually scale maid, and with this he will absolutely just body Tani. Like I'm not joking. He absolutely destroys Tani in this, and Tani will actually end up respecting Issei that, oh yeah, this was actually just all of a training actually thing to train the group, and also to gauge how powerful Issei really was, which he was actually powerful. Issei will actually would thank Tani, and with this, heck, he will actually kind of become friends with him. Over actually this actually course of actually time, they would actually go to the hot spring and they will meet Reyes' parents here. With actually Reyes' actually parents will actually kind of like thank Issei for taking care of Reyes and so on. So where Issei will say like it's no big deal. Now, what's actually gonna happen during actually these actually following actually few actually months? Well, for one, Issei doesn't stay in the underworld for quite long. Issei returns to the human realm, and with this, he will actually go on his own journey. Issei is actually planning on actually trying to find Issei. He actually wants to know what she's really been up to. So with this, Issei will actually end up traveling actually to Issei's actually home actually estate, which actually is her family actually home actually like what household. With this, Issei, like I said in the last part, is well known there, so heck, they will introduce Issei with warm arms. And actually, Issei asks if they have any news about Issei or even Arthur, which they say that they have not seen them since they left. That they're trying to actually find them, but no clue. Issei actually asks if he actually has any valuables of Issei's or even Arthur, of course, which they will actually show them their room, where Issei will actually look around, not being a creep or anything like this, but he will notice a brush that actually still has hair on it. Issei will use one of his magic, and with this he will actually try to sense Issei's actually like energy. With this, Issei actually used his search magic to search actually Issei in the whole human realm. And with this, since Issei couldn't actually find her, he actually tries a different place. Issei travels around the whole actually supernatural world, not really the whole of it, but a quarter of it, till eventually he will find Issei. Issei will actually end up traveling to the north region. This is actually where Issei will actually see that actually the north place was really actually kind of cold, but also nice at the same time. They were really advanced in actually the technologies here. To be honest, Issei could actually say that they actually are the first actually advanced people ever here. Even more advanced than the devils, angels, fallen angels. I mean, come on here. They're advanced in all the actually magic skills, and they have quite skilled warriors. So Issei will actually end up actually looking around actually like what, north, and try to actually look for Issei. He sends actually her energy here, so she gotta be here, right? Who knows, maybe Arthur is also here too. So with this, Issei will actually end up actually encountering actually Odin. Actually, pretty much Odin asks, why is actually the Red Dragon Emperor here in North? To where Issei will actually introduce himself to where he's actually just looking for a friend. He's not here to look for any trouble. To where Odin would say that he is having actually trouble at the moment here, so he can't actually trust Issei, so he does need to actually come with him. And plus, he did enter actually that faction without even a warning, so heck, Issei have to take this punishment, of course. So with this, he will end up following Odin to where actually they will actually kind of detain Issei for the moment. Issei is a willing guy, of course, and he doesn't want any problems. So with this, the one who's actually taking care of Issei is actually none other than Ross Weiss. Ross Weiss will actually try to interrogate Issei, and Issei will just get brief response that he's actually a mage, trying to actually look for a girl called Issei, and also Arthur, blonde hair, blue eyes. The same guy, of course, has blonde hair and blue eyes, wearing some kind of a suit, has a sword, of course. To where actually, heck, Ross Weiss says like, well, we saw someone just like that just like a few days ago, and heck, they were kind of like attacking us. To where Issei asks, what do you mean by that? To where they explain actually the whole Chaos Brigade. To where Issei asks if he can actually help them actually out. Ross Weiss tries to think about this, and since that Issei's not really a bad guy, she will contact Odin. Odin, after that, hearing Issei's story and seeing that he just wants to help them out and also just trying to find a friend, he'll just say like, okay, fine. So with this, he'll actually let Issei actually just join the fight. Then in just a few actually like months, they'll actually join actually the meeting with actually the Tree faction, of course, that's going to be taking place in the underworld. Maybe he can join them. Maybe, Issei will say. Issei will actually end up actually trying to actually find Issei. Eventually, he would. Issei will actually track her to where actually Issei was just basically just just sitting on her broom, just basically just waiting for a group just to return from actually their mission. This is where Issei would appear, just right actually behind Issei, and Issei would say that it's been a while. Issei would actually turn around to see it was none other than her long friend, Issei.